Hello, good evening, everyone. It is Wednesday again, which means it's time to play Dungeons and Dragons. Let me roll for to see if there's going to be a dragon this session.
It doesn't mean it has to be a fight.
Okay.
Yeah, we can befriend the dragon.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't mean it has to be a fight. It just means that by the end of the session, I have to figure out a way to squeeze a dragon into the adventure somehow. So it's really mostly just added pressure for myself, and not necessarily anything bad for you guys.
We just find an ancient dragon that's been that has minimized cast on it multiple times and made permanent.
Yeah, there's all types of dragons out there. I have some options. I think I own like 2 copies I own like 2 of the Cobalt Press monster manuals on Roll20 as well. So I even have some like special dragons in there. All kinds of dragons. I don't know why those don't show up in the compendium though. I'm gonna have to figure that out because. Oh, maybe I. Oh, okay, yeah, there they go. They're still in there. We could cross adventure, and you guys could bump into the Chardalyn dragon from Rime of the Frost Maiden. Ooh, that one sounds kind of fun. Alright, I better stop looking at these because I'm going to get sucked into it. I'm going to get sucked into a dragon hole and...
Oh, that's fine. I don't even know what half of those dragons even are.
Well, I almost said rabbit hole, and that's a different thing.
Yes, that's what crazy does.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are... For as far as you can tell, you guys have... bumped into perhaps maybe like you learned last week that Mortlock Van Thamper, one of the members of the Van Thamper family, who is one of the 4 dukes of Baldur's Gate, the matron of that Van Thamper family, has been paying cultists of the Dead 3, apparently, to commit murders in the city. But these murders have turned out to not be entirely senseless. You learn that over the last several years, citizens of Baldur's Gate have been making deals with devils. And the Van Thampers have been paying cultists of the Dead 3 to kill the citizens, specifically, who have made deals over the last so many years with devils. And, any innocent casualties that may happen in the wake of those murders, it's all the better for the gods that the cultists of the Dead 3 follow. You killed a member of the cult of Baal in a final fight which Mortlock helped you with, with a man whose flesh of his face was completely flayed off, likely self-inflicted. So you guys are now still all in that room above the flooded chamber, with the 3 tall statues of the Dead 3 along the western, northern, and southern walls. And there just are a few minor parts of the dungeon left that you could poke your head around in. Although if you wanted to, I could just kind of go through those 2 corners of the dungeon, and you could decide what you would like to do about them, instead of making you kind of roll around, actively search. So directly to the east of you, kind of over by where Krayley's token is, you find what appears to be like a storage room. There are stacks of wooden crates around the room. If you were to peer into them, a lot of it seems to be stolen goods that the cultists have not yet dispersed. There's also a crate of rations, and some random, adventuring type equipment. There's bags of caltrops, flasks of alchemist fire, some sets of manacles, a few tinder boxes. There's a bandolier of daggers, 9 daggers, and 4 potions of healing in little glass vials. If any of you were interested in any of that just random equipment, you would be welcome to it.
We should probably take the potions of healing.
Yes.
Yeah, there's 4 of them. If you take one, just make sure you add it however many you have to your character sheet.
Just want to take one each?
Krayley will take one. I'll put one on Krayley's sheet for them.
Okay.
So there would be 3 others to distribute. Oh yeah, I guess that's 4, one each. I forgot that we're down a full member, actually. So
sad.
Stop reminding us. How much do these healing potions heal for?
It is most likely that these are 2d4 plus 2s, minor healing potions. I am curious to know, currently in the chambers that you're in, the cultist is, dead on the floor, and beside them is the body of Bernard. What are you going to do with his corpse?
I don't know, perform his last rites and move him to, a clean corner away from where we're probably going to go to sleep.
Oh, you guys are going to... you guys are going to try and rest in here?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Just board up this. Hopefully nothing comes out from over here. Oh, wait, no, that's not a door. This is just Dolus's picture. I added black to it, and I was like, oh, there's a doorway right there.
I suppose that you could take some of the crates stacked up in the storage room with the stolen goods and stuff in it, and you could block off these stairwells into the part of the dungeon that you would like to attempt to rest in. That wouldn't be too hard to do. Would you start doing that, or would you go and try and check out the other part of the dungeon? It's kind of you can kind of see across from where you guys had the fight that there is a dark alcove on the far side of the little island that pokes up out of the water in the room where you first came across Mortlock and the cultist circling each other. So if you wanted to check that out, you could first, or you could just start boarding up the stairwells up into the part of the catacomb that you're in to have a rest. It's up to you.
I think we'll rest first. We have no resources left anymore.
Yeah.
True. That's
If
very
I fall
true.
down, I only have 1 health.
Why don't you guys give me a survival check to see how well you manage to wedge the
Okay, who's the wisest person here?
liminal spaces between the part of the dungeon where you would
Not
like
me.
to rest.
Not me.
You sure it's not a subliminal space?
Maybe if you
We're
were
not-
already sleeping.
You want us all to make survival checks, or just one of us?
It could be somebody rolling it with help, so just somebody rolling it with advantage is fine.
I do have proficiency in survival though.
I'll help you.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I help, does that make it like double advantage?
If
I
that,
know.
if that were mechanically possible, then I might allow it. But a lot of the crates
well,
are even if you emptied the crates out of all the stuff that they're holding, the stolen goods and things, the crates are pretty heavy, and none of you are particularly strength-oriented characters, and you get the
Isn't the
Morlock,
wait,
but he's gravely injured. He has 1 HP. He can help you guys though, but the roll is the roll. So, he seems he's lost a lot of blood, and he does help you, but he is currently in a weakened state. But you guys managed to. You can't quite get the crates to wedge in the space between rooms that well, and there's kind of they're blocked up, but there's like holes and gaps in them, and you guys move Bernard's body over into a corner of the room.
room, some rags, and this place will clean right up. And then we can sell it on, or we could rent it out on Airbnb or something.
Yeah. Crayley, I think, just volunteers to take the first watch. They don't mind doing it alone. And after a couple hours, Delos, you feel Crayley gently shake you awake.
Sleeping, what's wrong?
Says it's your turn.
Oh, okay. Go back to bed, buddy. I got this.
2 more hours go by, and you feel that it's probably enough time to give someone else a turn on watch, Dolos. You can choose who.
Sylvie, wake up.
Okay. All right, I'm up.
Thank you. I'm gonna go back to sleep.
Would there have been anything you would have wanted to do on your watch, Dolos? The 2 hours where the others were nodded off during the rest?
Yeah, I mean,
I shouldn't have skipped by you so quickly. Is there anything you'd like to do during your part of watch while you're awake?
I would have tried to see if I could have moved the boxes at all, or maybe find anything that, like, close up the little holes and crevices. If not, it wouldn't be a big deal, but Delos likes to try and fix his mistakes as fast as he can. If possible.
There's like patches of hay scattered around in the room where all the crates and stuff are. And you fill in some of the gaps. You don't know, how much of a difference it would really make in whether or not anybody, no, it's pretty obvious that it's like there's just crates there, but
Yeah.
and likely if there was anyone left in the dungeon that had been here for some time, they would just kind of know that something was off. But your watch goes by. You spend your time trying to just make it a little better, and then you wake up Sylvie. Sylvie, is there anything you'd like to do during your wakeful time of watch?
So, I'm gonna make sure that like everyone else is like passed out and like no one can hear me. And then I'm gonna pull out my pan flute and I'm gonna sit there and try and call out to my sister. Like not call out, but like whisper to her to see if she's there.
What is the subclass called of your
I think it's called College of Spirits.
College of Spirits? What is like the main level 3 feature that you get?
Oh, I'm not there yet. I think I leveled up in Rogue.
Oh,
Yeah, I leveled up in Rogue.
gotcha.
Yeah.
What would it be though? What is the like level 3 main subclass feature? I'm not too familiar with the College of Spirits.
See here. So there's a spiritual focus, guiding whispers, can reach out to spirits to guide you and others. There's Tales of Beyond. You reach out to spirits who tell their tales to you. And then that's basically it, besides the spiritual focus.
You pull out your pan flute. And you think about your sister. And the image you have of her is from long ago, when you were children. Are you guys like twins? Like, do you guys look a lot like identical twins?
Yeah.
And you begin to play some gentle notes on your pan flute. Light enough that you don't believe it would wake the others. And as you do so, perched on the edges of the 3 statues of the dead 3 are like ritualistic objects and candles and things like that. And all of the candles begin to light up one by one in kind of different colors, like a soft sky blue one of the candles lights up and begins to flicker and cast a blue glow in one corner of the room, and one lights up kind of a spring grassy green color. And the third candle lights and begins to shed kind of like a violet sunset glow. And all of these colors of the little flames of the candles begin to kind of flicker and dance together, casting shadows around the room. And I think on one wall you begin to see kind of almost like a little shadow play, and you see like the shadows project the images of a little grassy field and two small elven girls. You can kind of tell that they're elven because even in the shadows you can see their long pointed ears kind of growing faster than maybe their heads and their bodies, so they're protrude and stick out just a little larger than their current childlike sizes. And you see them holding hands and kind of doing that thing that kids do where they, spin around until they get dizzy while they're holding each other's wrists, and you feel the silver pendant in your pocket begin to grow warm in your clothing. And for as long as you've carried it, it's always been cold to the touch. But as this image plays in the shadows and you kind of get locked in your own little trance, and as the light is flickering, you almost feel kind of compelled to keep playing on your pan flute. So you keep blowing these soft, gentle notes, and you start to recognize it as, a song that your mother used to hum, and that was kind of lost in your memory somewhere. And as the image of the little girls spin, it seems like they get, it appears like they're getting larger as if they're getting closer to you, like they might have been far off in the field, and as they come closer and closer, one of the shadows almost gets like flung out of the little scene, and then there's a visage, an ethereal image of your sister there being cast in the light of these colorful candles. So you can it gives her form color, and she's kind of there standing before you, with her head sort of tilted, and her little childlike voice, she looks up at you and she says, "Hello, sister. It's been too long. I've missed you."
I missed you too.
And she goes towards you and tries to give you a hug, but her arms just pass through your body. And she kind of frowns.
It's okay. I know you're there.
She says, "I'm glad you finally found me."
Glad I did too.
She says, Did you know that I've been with you all this time?
I had a feeling, but with all of this chaos going around, sometimes kind of gets lost, you know?
He says, I don't really know how all of this works. But I can tell you where I've been. And she points at the... You realize you're like holding the coin in your hand now? And she says, I've been trapped in there.
Is that why it's been cold?
He says, no. I think it's been cold because you've been cold. Your
I have been cold.
anger, your hatred is covered up our connection.
You know me, I was always the stubborn one.
I don't know why you can hear me now, but I think it has something to do with the new friends you've made. We aren't meant to live our lives in solitude, sister.
Yeah, I just don't want anyone else getting hurt because of me.
Well, you can't live your life in fear either. Fear is what keeps you alone.
You're always the wisest of the two of us.
She says, our spirits are connected. Any wisdom I have lives within you.
Yeah, maybe.
I can feel the coin calling me. I don't know what it is.
Sister, before you go, has anyone come to you by the name of Bernard?
Yes, but I was scared of him.
He's a friend. You have no reason to fear him.
I wasn't scared of his spirit. I think he was kind. But he looked like her.
Yeah.
And she kind of like covers her eyes.
What I've learned since we've been apart is that not everyone who you think is bad is actually bad. There's some tieflings who can be good, and there's some tieflings who can be bad. And he was one of the good ones.
She says, many spirits linger. It's been a long time since I've been a person.
It's nice to have you here.
But I find that spirits and people are much the same. It's as you say. Some are good and some are bad. And she starts to, like, fade a bit, and her voice keeps sounding like it's getting farther and farther away. She says, I'll come back when I can.
You better.
And she says, can you promise me something?
Anything.
That you won't fight alone anymore.
I'll try my best.
You have to learn to ask for help. And then, like, all the candles flare out all at once. You're kind of left there in the darkness again. The coin remains warm to the touch.
Okay, I walk over to Tanawak and I kind of punch him lightly and I go, honey, it's your turn. And then I curl up with the token in my hand and try to fall asleep.
Oh, okay, good. You said the token, not the dead Bernard.
Oh yes, I love laying next to corpses. It's all part of my dark persona.
Ooh.
Well, I think I would probably, during my watch, I'll probably start it off with using prestidigitation multiple times to clean myself and everyone else, since cantrips are infinite. And then I would get bored of that, and then I would immediately begin investigating the entire room to see if there's anything hidden, because I like investigating.
Yeah, make an investigation check.
Ooh.
Pretty good.
Do you want to start with, like, the statues, maybe?
Yes, I will start with the statues, the most obvious focal point of the room.
You, after prestidigitating everyone clean, you meander over to the three statues representing the different deities of the Dead Three, and as you stand before the statue of Bane, this heavily armored man whose face is hidden behind this large visor, he's holding up a painted red gauntlet. And in the gauntlet is clutched a blood-red spear pointed towards the ceiling. I'd like you to make a charisma saving throw.
Oop.
Oh.
You feel
I'm
like
good at
you feel like as you're glancing up at the statue, you feel like this heavy weight of something pushing down on you, but you manage to shake off the sensation. The spear in the hand of Bane seems as though it is finely crafted, well made. Not just some decorative ornament or something crafted out of the same materials as the statue itself, but a separate object that is more than just like possibly like an actual usable weapon, you know.
These statues are made of stone, or are they more like kind of like, I don't want to say mannequins, but like
The statues themselves seem to be carved of the limestone, I think. But then they are like adorned, dressed with, you know, clothing objects. But the spear just kind of stands out to you as something more valuable than, like, the armor, you know, is not truly like plate mail. It's like a carved of wood, maybe.
so it's a statue with an actual weapon mounted into it.
Yeah, held in the hand, held in the clutched fist. The other one is like a raised gauntlet. You turn your attention over to the statue of Baal.
Yes, the spherical one.
This one is kind of wearing purple robes, and there's a harlequin mask. The statue has like one arm behind its back, and you kind of peer around the backside of the, and there's like a dagger held in the hand of the statue. The mask kind of resembles Dolos's a bit, but it's more embellished. It has like a gold outline, and it's kind of a lilac color. And there are, it seems like maybe it's made out of leather or something, and you can see that there are like little skulls stamped into the leather down along the like cheekbone line. You turn your attention over to the statue of Merkel, which is a kind of a black-robed skeleton. The head of the statue is a skeleton with its jaw hanging wide open, and both of its bony hands are outstretched. Nothing held or worn, but you get like a similar sensation as you turn towards this one. Why don't you make another charisma saving throw for me?
Not bad.
Not bad, but not good.
Not bad, but not good. You feel all of the muscles in your body begin to tense up.
Oh no.
And then your vision goes kind of black.
Gonna try to concentrate really hard.
Go.
You you open your eyes, and you're laying in like a rolling hillside. And you can feel a gentle, warm breeze blowing over your bare skin. The breeze is kind of rustling these tall cattail stalks. And you look up and you see the steel sky of a beer above you. And you see a large blue sun. And you stand up, and the cattail stalks are kind of coming up to like your rib line, just below where your like pectorals would begin. And you kind of look around you, and it's all just open plain, these rolling hills. But you notice something in the distance. You see a figure walking towards you. And they seem to be wearing a set of colorful robes of reds and pinks and yellows. And as they get closer, you can see a large golden sash is wrapped around their waist, holding the robes together. And as he walks towards you, you can see like little pillars of smoke beginning to like rise up in the air wherever his feet touch the ground. And as he gets closer, you can see a large man. But his visage is radiant and bright. He has long, flowing hair that is flaming orange and red. He is young and handsome. He's slender and muscled. And when he's kind of face to face with you, you hear this sort of golden voice. And he says, kind of in a cheerful tone, "Good morning, Tanawak."
Do I understand that? I mean, am I able to tell if I'm in just one big ol' drug-induced hallucination? I don't know if my familiarity with religion and religious artifacts if I would know, like, oh no, I just fucked up.
You can make a Constitution saving throw, I guess.
But yeah, okay. I know, because I know it's not technically an illusion, so it's not like I can just choose to disbelieve it. But yeah, I'll do a Constitution saving throw. We'll see what the story has in store for me.
Okay.
You wake up. You are back in the dungeon. The sky begins to like... You have this conscious thought in your mind. You ask yourself, how can any of this be real? And you see the steel gray sky begin to fade away. The blue sun above disperses in a flash of light. But I think like very briefly, just a little flicker, you catch a glimpse of the dark star of which you were born under. But then you see the limestone walls of the dungeon around you. The tension in your muscles loosens, and you are jolted out of whatever stupor the magic within the statue had tried to place you under. And the vision fades. The vision of the tall man in colorful robes, and the vision of your old world in which you were born.
I'm gonna take a step back and kind of like shake my head and try to get my bearings back. I do recognize these three as like the gods that I've heard mentioned before, right?
Yes, you in the book you were reading in the barracks, you had become familiar with some of the pantheon, and you recognize these as representations of Bane, Baal, and Merkel. Which are known as the Dead Three. I guess I could just reveal some of this to you guys now. If you wanted to read about them, you could do so at your leisure. It's information you could discover over time. But I think you've interacted with the cults enough now that some of it's just starting to become first-hand knowledge to you. Although some of the things like the rankings of the cultists and things you might not really know too much about, except for maybe Dolos.
I take a more healthy step back, and I'm going to kind of assess these statues. So we got heavily armored douchebag, some sort of ghoulish-looking weirdo, and a bag of bones, which probably is the closest thing that looks to the personification of death out of these three.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the only one apparently powerful enough to affect my mind.
It's the best out of the three.
Not the ball.
Yeah, it's not the spherical one.
Make a perception check for me.
Oh no, I'm not good at this one.
Oh no.
It's okay. You're kind of glancing over the statues and still kind of shaking yourself out of the stupor of whatever the vision was that had come upon you. And you don't hear it until it's like very close. You hear several sets of footsteps slashing through the water in the chamber below you. And then you hear a voice say, it must be in there. Let's not be too long. Looks like there's been bloodshed here recently.
Well, since I didn't hear them until the guy spoke. Let's see. What can I do to wake everyone up all at once? Oh, would I have gotten my long rest bonuses?
Yeah, this is I think taking place right near the end of your watch, so you guys will get the long rest.
Oh, I need to update my actual health on the bar as well. Okay, my health bar is broken. I'm gonna move right here, where I guess apparently I'm in between everyone, and Crazy's in the corner for some reason. Gonna kind of start shaking everyone awake without making too much noise.
You guys feel Tanawak waking you up one by one. Wonder if Krayley did their level up. Can't tell.
I know. Oh, never mind. I don't know. I don't know why I'm still showing 8 out of 24.
You hear somebody curse under their breath. Fuck, these are heavy. And then you hear someone say, quit complaining, let's just get them out of here and get back to Avernus. Tiamat will be pleased that we recovered her treasure. Would you guys like to do anything?
I mean, I'll take a combative position on the other side of the crates.
You hear one of them say, "What do you think's back here?" And another one responds, "Doesn't matter. We're here. We got what we came for. Nothing else is of importance. Let's get these out of here and go home. We are going to be justly rewarded."
Is there a spot? Like, I know you were saying that there's like tiny like holes where like you could kind of see through. Would I have enough room to like try and shoot an arrow at them?
Yeah, you could do that. You could push out some of the straw that Dolos had put in the little holes to cover them up. Make a sleight of hand check to do it without being noticed.
All right. Don't let me down.
It's gonna be a DC 15.
Okay.
Because there's 5 sets of eyes.
Oh, I didn't turn my advantage on. Well, it doesn't matter.
You hear one of them say, "Hey, something just moved over there." And
can I make rat noises to distract them?
you hear one of them. You hear one of them who's been doing most of the talking say, "Doesn't matter. Let's just keep going. Lift, you lazy." And
I don't think we should involve ourselves with this, guys.
Should we like pop out? Like,
you can let them
do the work.
You can see a little bit now that you've pushed out some of the hay. And yeah, basically you can let them leave, or you can try to engage them if you'd want. But you see that there are 5 figures that are all dressed in black leather armor, and they're wearing strange masks and cloaks that give all of them a vaguely dragon-like appearance. You see they all have brandished curved steel blades at their hips, reminiscent of dragon claws.
And I do Oh, I'm sorry, Dolos.
No, go ahead.
Can I do a religion check, since they mentioned Tiamat and they seem to be dressed in a very specific way?
Yeah, sure. You also see that they are carrying 1, 2, 3. for... Well, I guess between two pairs of each of them, they're holding large handles of two big chests, like metal crates almost.
So just to clarify, they're not coming by us, right? They're going like away from us?
Yeah, they're going back the other way.
Okay.
And
I say we just wait it out.
I'm not gonna fight and die in these sewers.
Yeah.
Catacombs.
Same thing, Tanawak.
so you hear them slosh away and eventually kind of disappear out of sight.
Okay. I think they're gone.
Should wait another hour just in case.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah.
We don't want to leave and then end up right behind them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to go back to bed, Tanawak?
No.
Yeah,
You can
you
stay
got
up
bags
for
under
another
your
hour.
eyes.
Okay,
Oh, do I determine anything with my religion check?
what were you trying to determine?
Well, they mentioned Tiamat,
Hmm.
and they look like they were. I want to say, well, they didn't look like paladins because paladins are usually dressed much heavier armor, but like maybe they were like religiously affiliated, or obviously they're probably followers.
Yeah,
If I've
you're
heard of any religious organization that specifically follows Tiamat, like a cult or something.
Yeah, you remember reading in that book of deities that Tiamat is an evil dragon god, and often her followers are referred to as the cult of the dragon. And that for some time the cult of the dragon has been trying to call their five-headed dragon goddess back into the world, so far without success.
I will explain this information to my teammates, my party members, and then
Okay.
I will also comment on how come it seems like Erudians are so like hell bent on manifesting their god into the material plane.
Maybe it's like a hell thing.
Yeah.
After about 30 minutes, you hear sloshing in the water again, and they return, and you hear them kind of drag two more large metal chests out of the little alcove, and they begin to, like the first two, just carry them out between the five of them.
Are they talking again?
This time they don't seem to be as talkative. Since they've found what they were looking for, they seem to just have come back for whatever was left behind. The chests were too big and heavy to take all at once.
Okay.
So they're coming back for what they had to leave behind in the first trip. So these five followers of Tiamat, I guess, have been looking for this little treasure hoard, and they found it.
Oh, there are too many of them for us to fight anyways.
Exactly. I think we should just let them go on with their business and we'll stay here.
We could
Yeah.
have gotten cool stuff, but is it worth
Is it worth dying
our
for?
lives? Yeah.
Mhm.
And I mean,
Kind of
you
have
don't.
some unfinished business, so maybe not the best thing to do.
Yeah. And we just
Alright.
lost a big fighter, so.
Yeah.
We could wait another 10 minutes and then we can leave. That should give them enough time. I think they've got everything that they wanted. They shouldn't be coming back. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Otherwise, somebody's gonna have to start being very diplomatic.
Well, I could try, but.
I don't think my charisma's that great. It's okay.
It's easy to talk with cultists when you look like one.
Oh, that's right. You can disguise yourself.
Of course. It's a fun little
Genius.
trick.
So we have a backup plan.
Yes.
Okay.
You guys wait for a little longer, and then you head back and exit the dungeon. I guess the only thing as you head back is that there was a room that had 2 prisoners in it.
What about Bernard's body?
We're
We're gonna take that with us.
You guys could.
I know.
You guys could carry it out.
The big
Yeah.
guy
Oh yeah. Morlock will put Bernard over his shoulder and carry him out. Let me. You guys had passed by a room. Where there were 2 prisoners.
Oh. I didn't get dragged.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
One of them was dead. It was like an older fella and a younger tiefling woman. One of them was dead, and one of them you left there unconscious.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it
yeah.
seems as though the tiefling is not there anymore. Now you know. Well, you know that the cultists would have had to come through here, the dragon cultists. So her body's not gone, or her body is gone. You don't know what could have happened to her, but she's not there anymore.
Maybe she was in one of the
Told you we
crates.
should have killed her.
And
if she's alive and she got information for them, that is not good for us.
and then as you're leaving, there was one room next to the room full of the zombie noises that Bernard had opened the door for, but you guys had skipped because I think Dolos had begun talking to one of the cultists, and then that all led into the encounter, which would have been this room here. So you kind of pass it on your way out, and you remember that nobody had actually explored the room.
Oh, did those Tiamat cultists open the door? Is that?
It had already been opened. Actually, what you actually find also is that let's see. They opened the door with the zombies and they killed them all as well. So there's like a couple zombie corpses in the hall there. In that room, there's an open sarcophagus at the back of a dusty crypt. Its stone lid is lying on its side between the sarcophagus and the southern wall. You see inside of the sarcophagus, since it is open, nothing but a bit of dust and a few scattered humanoid bones.
Can I investigate?
You could.
I will
I'm gonna
assist
see
her.
if there's any secret compartments or anything.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, I guess she doesn't need advantage then.
You can even see that it's likely, Sylvie, that it looks like that the cultists probably had kind of done a similar investigation, but they didn't roll as good as you. And you find in the sarcophagus where some of the dust has been disturbed, a false bottom. You feel that as you're kind of feeling, you feel a patch that does not feel like stone, but it kind of has a bit of give to it, and you push through, and what you find is that it was just about an inch of thick plaster, and as you push through the plaster, it kind of crumbles away, and you reveal a cavity that contains a human mummy floating in a shallow pool of red brine. But you notice that there are two glinting little gemstones in the eyes of the mummy. But make a perception check as well. The gems are quite easy to see.
Just some Indiana Jones stuff. The perception?
Yeah.
Okay. Not as good.
You're kind of looking at the mummy floating in the little shell pool of red liquid. This glinting moonstones catch your eye. And then Crayley steps up beside you and goes, "What's in there?" And he holds his torch, which gives you assistance. So you can roll again your perception.
Yay! Okay.
You see, the mummy was kind of wrapped in layers of cotton bandage. And, it's all frayed and wet and kind of sucked tightly onto the mummy's body. And you notice, the red stained bandages, there's a lump that's not, it's something that's risen up from the skin of the mummy underneath the bandages. You would actually have to pull the bandages away to see what it is. But it's not flush with the bandage. It's something that's been, it's almost like something's under there, sticking out or something.
I'm gonna take the hilt of one of my daggers, and I'm just gonna poke it to see if it moves.
It doesn't move. The bandages are so old and frayed and wilted that you do kind of make a little cut, or you use the hilt. So you poke it, yeah, nothing happens. Yeah.
Hey, well, I don't think it's a rat, so I'm gonna Can I very cautiously reach in there and see if I can grab it?
Sure. You kind of cut some of the bandaging away, and where the lump under the bandages were just like kind of right where kind of like right above where the heart would normally be. And when you cut the bandages away, what you see is actually like a piece of twine, thick twine, sticking up out of the chest cavity of the mummy.
Should we pull the twine?
Yes.
I quickly pull the twine.
You pull the twine, and you actually feel something quite heavy. And as you pull it, the old flesh of the mummy floating in the pool kind of collapses and withers away, and you pull out a large, heavy canvas bag out of the chest of this mummy.
Ooh, free goodies.
A body? That's disgusting.
And that was like buried in the chest cavity of the
I'm taking my
person.
daggers and I'm holding it like this.
And
That
it's
is
the heavy canvas bag is tied with like a thick twine, and sounds like something's like jumbling around inside there. You know, you lift it and you can hear something jumbling around in there.
What's in there, Sylvie?
I like very, very cautiously just open and peek my eye in.
You open and peek your eye into the bag. Altogether, the bag and its contents weigh about a pound. And you look inside and you see 7 large beans. 7 large dry beans. Like kidney beans almost.
Oh, I think I know what this is out of character.
They're beans. Very
Beans?
big beans.
Frijoles.
Why are there beans in a sack in a dead man's chest cavity?
I don't know.
Maybe the last thing he ate?
You'd eat the bag?
Getting rid of
Hey,
evidence?
Anawak, is this some weird, like, last rite that you do with your dead?
Let me look at the beans. I too will look. I don't know if there's any checks I can do though.
What are you trying to discern about the beans?
Figure out what the hell these beans are? Maybe like
Oh.
botanically?
Yeah, you could make a nature check, I suppose.
Nature versus nurture.
Can Dolos help?
Sure.
Like, by, like, knowing a little bit of poison making, so know a little bit of, like, nature stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Need
Can
advantage.
Sophie check if there's magic involved?
Second.
Yeah, you could make an Arcana check.
Okay.
You're uncertain if there's magic involved. And as far as you can tell, Tanuak, these are unlike any beans that you've seen before. They are larger than any bean you've ever had in a stew or you have seen used to grow in the field. They are dark and dry, kind of like a dark red skin on them. And yeah, they're in the shape of like kidney beans, but maybe 3 or 4 times the size.
I wonder if Captain Lightheart would know
They're
about
kind
these?
of you can kind of feel that like there's a weight to them too. Like they're like they jangle around in the bag like marbles.
Can I pull out and hold one of the beans?
Sure. You reach your hand in the bag. You pull out one of the 7 beans. You hold it between your fingers. It feels like a bean.
But it
It's
doesn't weigh
it's
like
kind of coarse but yeah, it's heavy. You know, a bean is light and generally, it's kind of like I don't know if porous is the right word, but there's like a lightness to it, and this is like heavy, uh, heavy
kidney
and
beans, but
heavy and
which means
hard.
that they're actual kidneys.
Yeah, could be.
He had
No,
a
please
lot of
don't eat that.
kidneys.
I'm gonna put the bean back in the bag.
Okay.
Okay.
I think we're ready to return to the barracks.
Okay.
Were they like
Um,
soft and squishy, or were they like hard?
they're hard. Yeah. I'm gonna give you a handout. Real quick. I just got to remove the treasure hoard that the dragon cultist got away with.
Hey, Sylvie, you're good at picking locks, right?
Yeah, I guess you can say that. I've only done it, a million times.
Okay, show off. Well, I have this book.
Mm-hmm.
It's that book I got off from the corpse woman with the skeleton rats. And it has
Mm-hmm.
this lock on it. I can't really pick locks. But if you could get it open for me, I would
Let
appreciate
me
it.
see it.
Okay.
I would like to try to pick the lock.
Yeah, you can pick the lock.
Okay.
And
These
if you
tools.
succeed,
These tools.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's sleight of hand, right?
Yeah, sleight of hand. Are you proficient in sleight of hand?
Yeah.
Yeah, then it would be a sleight of hand check. Yeah.
Wait,
Oh,
that reminds me. Can we only assist others if we're proficient in the skill, or does it matter?
I think it depends on the action. So, like, you couldn't really assist her in making like a sleight of hand check to unlock something, right?
Maybe.
I don't know what it is about this lock, but
wow.
it's
I
like
guess I was wrong
jammed or
about you.
something.
That is so
It's
rude.
okay. I'll figure it out. I'll find a thief who actually knows what they're doing.
This is the one that you got from the necromancer, right?
Yeah, the one with the skeleton rats.
Okay. Yeah.
Sylvie goes, actually have another idea. She finds like a
Oh?
really like big rock,
No,
try to
no.
smash open the lock.
Bellows tries to stop you.
Okay.
We don't know what's in this book, but it will not have the lock be destroyed.
You wanted it to be opened.
Yes, not with force.
Okay.
You
I've
know what? How
altered.
about you let me try to unlock it?
Okay. Do my guess.
Okay. I don't have thieves' tools, but
Here, you can
I can
borrow
try.
mine.
Are yours? Okay. Can I try and unlock it? God.
Yeah, go for it.
I will assist him this time. Now that I know that I should be I should have assisted
He
Sylvie.
doesn't need assist.
No, it's all
Never
in your
having
head.
used thieves' tools before. First time.
You know what? Maybe you should think about becoming a rogue.
No, I thought
y-
about it, but I'm much more of a people person.
You you are offered Sylvie's thieves' tools, and you fiddle with the lock of the book for a while, and manage to get it to click open, um, and you're able to remove it.
Now, this is much better than using a quill.
The little tiny skull-shaped locking mechanism, like the teeth. You fiddle with it, and then the teeth like move up into the mouth of the skull, and um, yeah, you get it open.
It's a book.
Do you open it?
Yeah.
You open the book you found from the necromancer, and a little wisp of black smoke rises from the pages as you open it up in your hands. The smoke coalesces into a little skull that cackles madly for a split second. You hear like the old raspy haunted voice of the necromancer you killed laugh. One let out her final laugh. Make a constitution saving throw for me.
Do we all hear
Okay.
this or just Olos?
Just Olis. Yeah.
Okay.
You feel a coldness set into your bones. You actually see
Again?
you're holding the book, and you see like a few of the veins in your hands kind of go dark and reddish blue, like the first time that you what happened with the cube, and you are now cursed. For the time being, you are vulnerable to necrotic damage.
dear.
Of course I am.
And you find that what this was her spellbook.
Oh. Interesting.
You're a wizard, Dolos.
Which I'll...
I don't know about that, but necromancy is always a fun thing now and then. Nothing wrong with getting the dead to help us.
Which I'll
Fair.
add her spells
If
into
the Lord
this
of Bones can do it, why can't we?
handout I'm about to give you.
I can't. That's especially if they're from the government.
Okay, here we go. So here's a little handout for you from some of the things that you're leaving the dungeon with. If the item is marked with Arcana or Identify, it means further information can be learned about it.
Wait, I have Identify.
Do you have the material component for it?
Do I need it? If I have my spell casting?
What is the material cost of Identify? What is the component?
I'm pretty sure it should still be the same from 3.5, but what I remember is like 100 gold
A
pieces.
pearl worth at least 100 gold pieces and an owl feather.
They added an owl feather.
Yeah. So you would just need 100 gold pieces to cast a spell.
Yeah, maybe we should take this to a wizard guy.
Does it say it consumes the pearl?
I mean, I think that's kind of the general consensus, but if it doesn't explicitly say...
Because
because
Identify can be cast as a ritual, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let me look at the language.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Sylvie. I appreciate it.
Can my thieves' tools back?
Well, here you go. They are nice though. I should get myself a pair.
I know. Aren't the like purple handles really cool?
They are.
Because I do know there are
If
some.
you need something, let me know.
I do know there are some spells where it's very explicit. Like it'll say in the spell description, consumes component on use. You know.
Yeah.
Whether it requires attunement and how many charges it has, if any. You learn whether spells are affecting the item and what they are. I would say that it probably would not, being that it's a ritual spell, and it really doesn't explicitly say, I would say that it doesn't consume the pearl, probably.
Okay.
Because I could see that getting out of hand, you know, like having to come up with 100 gold every time you want to identify something, regardless
But you
of what.
have no
regardless,
idea.
yeah, regardless. Because even if you took it to like a wizard, you know, they would charge you for that, right? Because it's like, you know,
Plus interest.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say with the 2 moonstones that you found, it's enough material cost that you could use those as they would work as the component.
Okay, and then I can cast this as a ritual, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Can I identify all of the items at once? Or does it have to be like one at a time?
I would say that, you know, just because we're... Yeah, I mean, we can just figure out what they are. So I'll show you what the bag of beans is.
What is the bag of beans?
So you can dump the bag on the ground and they will explode in a fiery blaze. Or you can remove a bean from the bag and plant it in the dirt, and a variety of things could happen.
Oh, I do not like 61 through 70.
So you have 7 beans. They can be used
Awesome.
as an emergency explosion or an experimental garden.
Maybe on a rainy day.
I would say that if Krayley was here, they would probably be fairly interested in the beans.
Okay. I will give Krayley the beans. The bag of beans.
Cool.
All of them?
You guys want some?
I mean, Dolos wants one.
Okay. You can
Just
have one.
Thank
Just
you.
try not to blow us all up.
Magic
Please.
bean.
Morris.
If you take a bean,
What do you
put
think?
if you take a bean, put magic bean on your character sheet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are any of the other of you going to take one?
Maybe not. Maybe later. Not this very moment.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take some later probably.
Okay. Then Krayley has the 6 other beans in the bag. Okay. One of the moonstones is going to be a magical item, of which I will tell you later because I don't know what magical properties I'm going to give it yet.
Okay.
But the robe and the flail are also of a magical nature. So I think for these, for fuck's sake, I'm going to ask for a couple of... Sorry, my headset is like fucking up.
It's okay.
You're good.
A couple of like D100 rolls. So give me a D100 roll for the robe.
Okay.
Good luck, Sylvie.
We got 88.
Ooh.
You are kind of turning over the robe in your hands as you're going through the ritual to identify. You have the 2 moonstones in one of your palms, and as you're ritually casting your spell in the little crypt here, one of the moonstones actually begins to glow, and these moonstones are almost like opals, and they begin to cast, as you have them held in your palm, little beams of opalescent light around the room, kind of like a little disco ball as you're turning over the robes, and you begin to notice the color of the fabric of the robes as it moves kind of shifts colors from a black to a dark blue, and you start to notice there are little silver stars embroidered in the inner linings of the robe itself. Six of them particularly, and this is a robe of stars.
What does that do?
I'll put it in the little handout here. You have a +1 bonus to saving throws while you wear the robe of stars. The robe's 6 stars can be pulled off as an action to cast a magic missile. Daily at dusk, 1d6 of the removed stars appear on the robe, reappear. When you wear the robe, you can use an action to enter the astral plane as well, along with everything you are wearing or carrying. You remain there until you use an action to return to the plane you are on.
Oh my god.
I love this.
No, the real question is, who's going to get it?
Well, who wants it?
I mean, if I will be willing to let other people have a chance at it before I make a claim on it.
In my opinion, I don't think Dolos would want it. I think it's too flashy.
The flail is a +1 flail, but it also has a feature that when you hit a creature with it, it will cast Bane, and that feature can be used 3 times per day. And so I will put under here +1 flail of Bane, 3 per day. And maybe I'll just also post this whole little thing in here for the magic beans. All right. So there's your easily accessible hideout handout for everything you've found. And
Awesome.
you guys make your way out of the dungeon, up. You give a little knock on the door, and after a few moments, you find that Cormilla, one of the attendants of the steaming nymph, unlocks it from her side and lets you all out. She says, I was worried there for a moment. Those men that went down were pretty adamant about recovering whatever was beneath there. But it seems as though you didn't run into them?
You mean the dragon cultists?
They weren't
Yes.
our problem.
The men all dressed in black. They were quite rude, if I say so.
Yeah, kind of what it seemed like to us too. Didn't seem very friendly.
Yeah.
She says, well, I'm glad you all made it out safely. I didn't expect to see you after the whole day went by, especially after those men went down there. You know, I think I need to just find a new place of employment. There's a little too much action here at the Steaming Nymph for my taste. I was looking for a quiet little day spa that I could employ my practices as a masseuse, and this just isn't it for me, I don't think.
Yeah, it might be a smart idea for you to do that.
Well, I won't hold you all up any longer than I have to, and she steps to one side.
Where is that Jaharo guy? Jarvis. Whatever his name is.
She says, oh, he has not shown up for work today. I imagine that he is probably...
dead.
Yes, I don't imagine that anything good has happened to him. But it's possible that he's fled the city. I doubt that you want to be on the wrong side of the Van Thampers.
Nobody does.
And I suppose maybe I should be a little worried. But I didn't know any of this was going on, really, the way that Jabaz did.
Name. Goodbye.
Mortlock says, don't worry, you'll be fine. But I would find a new place to work. It is kind of midday now. You guys took a long rest in the dungeons after having been down there for a couple of hours. You can see a bit of gray light shining in through the tall stained glass windows of the Steaming Nymph. You've made your way out of the dungeon, and you've learned a bit of information. What would you like to do? Would you like to head back to the barracks?
I think we've earned a spa day.
Yolo says, I don't know about that. I have to keep my mask on.
Cormilla says, well, we don't have any appointments today. I could draw the baths for you.
That would be lovely. Thank you.
She goes one by one to each of the large tubs in the corners of the room. She looks over at you, Sylvie, and she says, how hot do you like your water, dear?
Steaming.
Steaming. That's how I like it too. And she lets the hot water flow into the tub. She sprinkles something from a little glass jar, a little glass vial into the water, and you see bubbles begin to form in the water, and strong lavender scent begins to permeate the air around the tub. She moves to the next one, and she says, how about you? And she's looking at you, Dolos.
Oh, I think I'm good. I'd rather not take any of this off.
She says, no offense, but you're kind of smelly.
Even after I pre
You have a point.
She's
pre
got a point.
prestidigitized him.
I'll keep.
Does
I'll
that
keep the
get
mask on.
does that get
Make
rid of
it-
scent, or is that the aesthetic?
Let's see. What does the spell say? Crit one falling magic prestidigitation. Create. Instantly lighter snuff out, instantly clean, or I don't know. Maybe the scent might stick even if the object itself is still clean.
Well, you guys spent a good amount of time diving into, it'd be on his skin, sweat, the stagnant water, blood.
Delos would say, I'll take a bath. Just let me keep the mask on.
She says, well, I could get you a hot towel for your face and clean your mask for you.
I'll take the hot towel, and I'll keep the mask.
Very, very well. And the does a little drops, a couple little drops out of the vial into your tub as well. The big bubbles begin to fill up in where the water's flowing from the faucet. Temperature?
Close.
Would you like to look like a lobster when you're done?
Oh.
Mild temperature for you then.
Exactly.
And she turns the other nozzle, and a bit of cold water begins to flow out as well into your tub as the begin to permeate. How about you, good sir? She moves to the third tub. Temperature?
Let's see. Somewhat warmer than body temperature, if that makes sense.
She
I want
says,
I want it to be hot, but not exhausting.
and she says, you look like you're carrying a lot of tension in your shoulders. Would you like bubbles as well, or something that will soothe your muscles?
Maybe a muscle relaxant. I did kind of get really stiff due to some angry statue.
She sets down her vial on a little golden tray on a table nearby, and she picks another one up, and she adds a few drops of this dark liquid into the water as it flows. She gets the nozzles turned just right, so it's not like steaming, but there's a little bit of misty air coming up over the edges of the tub. It starts to, as it mixes with the liquid, it kind of is when you put dry ice in water, where billowing clouds begin to roll over the edges of your tub. Then she turns off all the waters one by one of your 3 tubs, and she says, I'll give you all a bit of privacy as I collect all of my things. And she goes into one of the 2 side rooms. You hear some jangling of vials and clattering around, and
We forgot about Crayley. Even though he can't roleplay himself.
Rayleigh's getting a foot massage.
Yeah.
His rabbit feet.
Acupuncture.
Crayley actually sits on the large leather sofa in the center of the room and pulls out goes over to one of the drawers by the tub and pulls out one of the smoking pipes, and he digs in his inner pocket and pulls out one of those bricks of tobacco he was given, and he puts some in a pipe and he lights it and begins to
Yes. I forgot he was a connoisseur of lung cancer.
take some.
Oh yeah.
You see him take a few large puffs of the pipe, and then he blows a couple of concentric rings out, like smaller and smaller, that all kind of like blow into one another. Says, it's a way that we like to relax in Southfoot.
Alcohol is much better.
Sylvie casts minor illusion and makes a wall around her.
Oh, good. She could censor herself and us. Although it would have been funny if you would have added like one of those like solid black bars they have on TV.
She does it too.
Actually,
No, go ahead.
Tanawak, you said that there was an angry statue. I know you're a foreigner, but like, there's like live statues where you are.
No, I mean angry statue as in it's a depiction of a god, and apparently I might have offended it in some way. Although, to be honest, I
which
have
one?
been offensive to the spherical one quite a bit. But he's not the one that
Oh.
affected me.
Which one affected you?
The one that was a literal skeleton.
Oh, Miracle, Lord of
Oh.
Bones. Yes. You offended the god of death.
Not sure
Oh,
how. I haven't
honey.
encountered that one yet.
I mean, you're a cleric.
I'm not a cleric.
Oh, a man of faith.
Ah, Curly just randomly appeared.
Oh, whoa.
Now I have to zoom out to see where I am.
Me too.
Well, there's no use in letting this hot water go to waste. Just slip off some jewelry, and then just the script falls, and I just hop right in, and then I just instantly go to sleep.
It is
Got those cucumber eyelid thingies.
it is quite soothing. If anything, Carmilla is good at her job, and she has drawn all of your baths to your perfect desired temperatures. The oils that she has added to the waters of your tub are soothing to the senses, and it is hard to not find yourself drifting into kind of a luxurious state of rest.
Carlos does not want to be here. I don't think he's ever been this vulnerable. Yeah, I mean, he's enjoying it. I do think he's like inspecting himself about those like purple veins, also trying to like hide it. It's weird. He's naked, but he still has the mask. It's like he's just, I don't
Which
know.
makes you feel even more
He's
naked.
very subconscious.
They have, except for the recent kind of irritation from the curse opening the necromancer's spellbook, all the vasculature over the rest of your body has returned to normal. You're examining yourself, and it is just your normal pale flesh.
Okay.
Whatever else it was that affected you in the botched teleportation device. You see the remnants of the external damage have faded away, and the only thing really going through your mind is that now you don't know if you're going to be able to shift anymore, because the attempt you made in the dungeons did not work, and it does kind of feel like part of you is missing in some way. I don't know if there's a better way to say it.
I mean, that makes sense. I think Delos is processing all of this, makes a mental note to talk to Sylvie about what she saw, and tries to just relax as best as he can.
Maybe this is a good place to take a little 5-minute break, just so I can have a break in the recording. So let's do a 5, and then we'll have like an hour more of playtime. I think for the back half of the session, if you guys want to, we can kind of go around the table, and you'll have maybe the rest of the day is kind of an off-duty day. So if there was anything you wanted to explore about your characters' backstories, or anything you wanted to do in town before Lightheart turns up again to have a conversation with you all about anything you might have learned, maybe that's how we'll finish out the session. Otherwise, we'll see you in 5.
Good.
BRB.
Okay.
See ya.